Caitlin Clark back on the Forbes list, back on top of the Forbes list once again.
By the way, in case you're wondering, Angel Reese is not on this list. As if she should be. Coco Gauff's on here. Serena Williams is on here. But Angel's not here. But Caitlin is.
Here's the latest. Caitlin Clark has just been named one of Forbes' 25 most powerful women in sports. And the reaction from the WNBA, especially Angel Reese, is not great. Clark earned the number 4 spot overall, ranking above legends like Serena Williams, Coco Gauff, Nelly Korda, and even Simone Biles. Think about that. She's the highest ranked athlete on the entire list. Meanwhile, Angel Reese doesn't appear anywhere.
Clark is number 4 on the 2025 Forbes most powerful women in sports list. She is the highest ranked athlete on the list. The highest ranked athlete on the list. Clark has in the last 2 years been the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire.
You can practically feel the jealousy sizzling through the WNBA. This isn't just another list. This is a major power shakeup. For the past 2 seasons, players like Angel Reese have been rolling their eyes, dismissing Caitlin Clark as overrated. Now, that very same player has jumped ahead of global superstars on a Forbes list that measures influence, not just fame. And that's what really stings, because deep down, everyone knows Caitlin isn't just a player anymore. She's the brand keeping the league in the spotlight. Here's the kicker. Angel Reese is far from thrilled and even refuses to admit Clark earned it. We've got her hilarious reaction to Caitlin's latest honor, and you're going to want to see it. But before we dive in, make sure to drop some love for Caitlin in the comments.
It's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you?
Forbes didn't hold back. They called Caitlin Clark the face of a new era in women's sports. Pause for a second. The face, not just one of many. We're talking millions in endorsements, record-breaking TV ratings, and ticket sites crashing under the flood of fans. She's reinventing what power looks like in modern athletics. And yet, some players still act like she's just another WNBA talent. Let's get real. Forbes doesn't place an athlete above Serena Williams and Simone Biles for fun. It's not only about stats, though she's got plenty. It's about sheer influence. The only women ahead of her, billion-dollar executives and team owners. Caitlin Clark isn't just raising the standard, she is the standard.
Only one that can do what Caitlin Clark did. Bring all those eyes. For pure basketball purists, there's nobody like her.
Oh, how did the WNBA react? With deafening silence, a quiet that says jealousy louder than any words ever could. Not a single congratulatory post from the league, not one retweet from team accounts, except of course the Indiana Fever. Why the quiet? Because everyone else knows Forbes got it right. Caitlin Clark is the reason fans came back to arenas. She sold out games in cities that used to feel empty and filled stadiums that hadn't seen full seats in years. And yet, instead of celebrating her, some players are tossing shade, tweeting about how everyone brings value. Sure, but only one of you brought millions of new viewers. That's a whole different level of impact.
It says, Caitlin Clark, guard Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark has turned her record-breaking college basketball career into early dominance in the WNBA. Her estimated $8.1 million in income for her rookie season with the Indiana Fever was bolstered by big deals with Nike, Wilson, Gatorade, and signals a shift in how female athletes are being valued in the world of professional sports. Last month, the Fever announced that Clark will be sidelined with an injury for the remainder of the WNBA season to focus on her injury, but the injury doesn't change the fact that Clark has, in the last 2 years, been the spark that lit the match that set women's sports on fire.
And Forbes didn't just slap her name on a list. They explained why she belongs there. They noted how Caitlin Clark has transformed her record-shattering college career into immediate dominance in the WNBA. In other words, she's accomplishing in a single season what most players never manage in 10 years. They also spotlighted her major brand partnerships: Nike, Wilson, Gatorade, all top-tier names doubling down on the Caitlin Clark effect. Let's be honest, these companies don't pour millions into mediocrity. celebrity. They back cultural game changers. Meanwhile, Angel Reese, who spent months downplaying Clark's influence, is now watching her rival become the face of women's sports worldwide. The frustration must be real. While Caitlyn's face graces Forbes magazine, Reese is back online liking posts about media bias and overhyped stars. The irony isn't lost on anyone. Caitlyn didn't chase the spotlight, she earned it.
What is your stance on that? So my whole thing was like, when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm like, cool, like the pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool, I can just hoop. I'm like, all right, cool. It's because you started killing.
Here's the kicker. Forbes placed her 4th on the list. The 3 women ahead of her, billionaires. And right below them, Caitlin Clark, not even 24, running women's basketball like it's a full-blown empire. This isn't just a flex, it's a revolution. Meanwhile, Angel Reese and a few others are tweeting cryptic lines like, the media crowns who they want. Sure, and apparently they crown the one who sells out your stadium.
You just take this lady right here. You may be like, well, Rhodes, who is this? This is Gail Benson. She is the owner of the New Orleans Saints and the New Orleans Pelicans in the National Football League and in the NBA. The two teams now carry a combined valuation of $8.35 billion. That's billion with a B, by the way. While Benson herself has an estimated net worth of $7.9 billion.
Here's the hard truth. Caitlin Clark has leveled up into mainstream celebrity status. She doesn't need the WNBA to validate her anymore. She's doing charity golf events, national interviews, talk show appearances, and every time she steps into the spotlight, the WNBA logo comes along for the ride. And that's exactly what frustrates players like Angel Reese. Caitlyn doesn't need the league to make her famous. The league needs Caitlyn to thrive. Here's the reality. Her success actually lifts everyone else. When Forbes writes about Caitlyn, the WNBA gets attention. When her games sell out, ticket sales climb across the board. When her jersey breaks records, the league's merchandise sales soar. She's raising everyone up, and yet she still gets side-eyed. That's not competition, that's resentment. Let's look at the facts. Record attendance, Caitlyn. Record viewership, Caitlyn. Highest merchandise sales in league history, Caitlyn. And she did all of this in just one season. Forbes is simply confirming what we already knew. She's not just an athlete, she's a cultural game changer. And that's what Angel Reese can't stand. While Caitlyn is breaking records, she's breaking barriers. Forbes didn't recognize her just for stats. They recognized her for power. Power that changes how leagues operate, how fans show up, and how brands invest. Meanwhile, Angel's online, tweeting memes and cryptic posts instead of congratulating the one player who's expanding opportunities for everyone.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor.
The timing couldn't be more pointed. The WNBA is in the middle of CBA negotiations, players pushing for higher salaries, better revenue sharing, and real recognition, and the athlete proving the value of women's basketball to advertisers and TV networks just earned a spot among the world's most powerful women. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. She's the living proof that the league's worth is real. Yet while Forbes celebrates her achievement, the silence inside the WNBA is loud enough to hear. That's how you know this hits hard. Because envy doesn't cheer, it scrolls. You can bet Angel Reese and a few others saw the headline. They just didn't have the grace to celebrate it. Instead, we get the same recycled rhetoric about unity and equality, all while ignoring the one player who actually made equality profitable.
Caitlin Clark is the most powerful woman in not just basketball, but women's sports, all of women's sports. I think more so than Simone Biles, Serena, Coco, all of them. You name it, there is one person that is bringing people to television screens, and that's her on the screen. Caitlin Clark.
Let's be real. Caitlin Clark doesn't owe the league a thing. She's turned the Indiana Fever, one of the smallest markets in sports, into a national sensation. Arenas are packed coast to coast, and kids everywhere are watching women's basketball again. That's legacy level influence, and she's only in her first season. So when Forbes names her one of the 25 most powerful women in sports, it's not hype. They're just stating the facts. Caitlyn is accomplishing what no commissioner, PR campaign, or slogan ever could, making women's basketball a global conversation.
This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon.
Remember when Caitlin Clark shattered viewership records? Total silence. When she sold out arenas coast to coast, still nothing. And now that she's officially named one of Forbes' 25 most powerful women in sports, the quiet is deafening. You'd think the league would be celebrating her, but nope, just crickets. Here's the reality. Forbes didn't rank her based on hype or popularity. They looked at hard numbers, real influence, measurable economic impact, brand value, and media reach. Caitlyn ticked every single box. She's not just playing basketball, she's running a multi-million-dollar empire before even turning 24. Nike is pushing her signature shoe, Wilson is building her custom basketball line, and Gatorade is giving her the spotlight usually reserved for male superstars. Meanwhile, much of the league, including Angel Reese, is still tweeting about equal pay while lobbying for raises. The contrast couldn't be starker. Let's call it what it is. This Forbes recognition revealed what fans have known all along. The WNBA doesn't have a marketing problem. It has a jealousy problem. Instead of leveraging Caitlyn's global stardom, some players treat her like a threat. They could celebrate her success as a win for everyone, but instead they act defensive, trying to control a narrative that's already beyond them. Because you can't control Caitlin Clark. She is the narrative. She's the reason ESPN started moving WNBA games to prime time. She's the reason Fever jerseys are selling out nationwide. She's the reason kids who never watched women's basketball are suddenly glued to the screen. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing the game, she's changing the entire culture around it.
Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her? Other than she plays really, really hard, and I liken her game to Moses Malone. Moses Malone was relentless. So it's not that I don't appreciate who she is or how she plays. There is no one like Caitlin Clark. In the history of the WNBA,
Forbes made it crystal clear. Caitlin Clark's influence extends far beyond the basketball court. They pointed out that her success is shifting the way female athletes are valued. This isn't just praise, it's a cultural shift in real time. She's forcing brands, networks, and sports executives to rethink how women's sports are treated. So what's Angel Reese doing? Throwing shade. You'll see subtle digs on social media, vague posts about other powerful women who don't get the recognition they deserve. Sure, but none of them are selling out 18,000-seat arenas on a random Tuesday night. The jealousy isn't hidden anymore. It's seeping through every tweet. And let's not forget, the spotlight comes with immense pressure. Caitlyn isn't just trying to win games. She's carrying the league's reputation on her shoulders. Every word, every gesture, every expression is dissected. Be quiet, and they call her ungrateful. Celebrate, and they call her cocky. She can't win in their eyes, but she's still winning where it truly matters. Now throw a Forbes ranking into the mix, and the resentment is fully exposed. The same players preaching women supporting women are silent when one of them actually breaks the ceiling everyone said was unbreakable.
I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's, but passing like this? I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque bounce passing. I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque two-handed, full court, touchdown pass kind of passing. The likes of which I don't see in the WNBA.
It's honestly kind of funny. The league talks about growing the game, but when someone actually delivers, they freak out. Caitlin Clark is the growth. She's the living, breathing answer to every marketing problem the WNBA has faced for 2 decades. She's doing what entire PR teams couldn't, selling out arenas, building hype, creating rivalries, and making people care. And yet, instead of analyzing her approach, some are too busy watching her endorsement deals. Here's the part that really hurts. Forbes didn't just put her on a list, they crowned her as a force reshaping the entire sports industry. They wrote that Caitlyn's presence is changing how fans and brands see women's sports. Translation, she's not just part of the system, she is the system. She's redefining what success looks like in women's athletics. Even NBA Commissioner Adam Silver acknowledged it, saying WNBA players will get more money this cycle and they deserve it. Let's break that down. He's basically saying, thank Caitlin Clark. Her influence is driving the revenue that makes these deals possible.
Now you're going to cut down 22-year-old Caitlin Clark, who is single-handedly changed the game, brought in millions of other young fans, old fans. How about the ratings in college basketball for her? Record ratings. And now in her very short WNBA career, shattering records. Isn't that a win?
And let's not forget, this is the same league that barely noticed her after the draft. For weeks, she was treated like just another player. Fast forward a year, and her face is everywhere in WNBA promotions. That's not luck, that's sheer dominance. Being ranked by Forbes above billionaires isn't hype, it's poetic justice. What's even more remarkable, Caitlyn's handled all of it with zero drama, zero diva energy, and no messy callouts. Just quiet, undeniable influence. And that's exactly what frustrates players like Angel Reese. Caitlyn doesn't need to shout to be heard. The world listens anyway. While others chase attention with controversy, she earns it with consistency, skill, and results. She's rewriting history, one record, one headline, one endorsement at a time. This Forbes recognition isn't just a win for Caitlyn, it's a roadmap for every future athlete chasing independence. She's proving you can combine talent, market savvy, and humility while building an empire without waiting for approval. She didn't ask for validation, she created it, and that's why envy burns so brightly. Caitlyn Clark didn't walk into the WNBA asking for a spotlight. She brought her own, and it's so bright, it's blinding everyone who underestimated her.
What are we doing and why? Please stop. Let's celebrate Caitlyn Clark, celebrate her greatness, celebrate her courage to keep pushing through against people like you. Caitlyn Clark, you go, girl. Don't listen to these people. Keep going strong. Most of us are normal and have your back.
The reality is simple. The WNBA, and Angel Reese in particular, needs Caitlyn Clark far more than she needs them. She's the face fans rally behind, the reason brands keep pouring in, and the one athlete who moves the needle every time she steps on the court. Fans love her for her authenticity. Sponsors love her because she delivers results. The media loves her because every story about her translates into numbers. That's the trifecta of real power, the kind even Forbes couldn't ignore. So when Forbes named her one of the 25 most powerful women in the world, it wasn't just a headline, it was a wake-up call, a message to every player still claiming she's overhyped, a reminder to executives who once doubted her influence, and a reality check for Angel Reese, still tossing shade online while Caitlyn is out here changing the game. Caitlyn Clark isn't just on Forbes' list, she is the list. She's redefining influence, rewriting the playbook for what women's sports can be, and proving that true power doesn't need approval. It commands attention. Love her or hate her, Caitlyn's dominance is now official, and the WNBA, they can keep pretending she's not the standard, but every silent scroll, bitter tweet, and jealous glance just proves one thing. Caitlyn Clark sets the bar. Show Caitlyn some love in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Click the video on your screen, and we'll see you in the next one.